Hi, this is Kelly from paperbeadrollers.com, and today I'm going to teach you the basics of how to make jewelry out of paper. Things like magazines, junk mail, and even cereal boxes. Stay tuned. Here are the tools and supplies you'll need to get started with the project. You'll need a pair of scissors, a ruler, a pencil or marker, a paper bead rolling tool like I sell at paperbeadrollers.com, a bamboo skewer, which you'll use for glazing, but you can also use in place of a bead rolling tool if you don't have one. You'll also need a paintbrush, some white school glue, and some type of glaze. I like to use Judikins diamond glaze, but you can use clear nail polish as well if that's all you've got. And you'll need something like a foam block to hold the skewer while the glaze dries on your beads. If you're using a box like this one, you'll need to take it apart and cut off any damage and any flaps that don't have good colors on them, like this white one here. I'll also cut off this flap with the writing and the nutrition panel because that is not going to look great on my bead. Now we're going to mark up our paper with cutting lines. Make sure you do this on the back of the paper, not on the side that will face outward for your bead. Decide how wide you want your finished bead to be. I'm going to make 1-inch beads. My first mark is going to be half of that, so I'll make it at the half-inch mark. That's because we need to give our first strip the right angle. It can't be straight like this edge. The rest of the marks will be 1 inch apart each. Now, mark your first line. I'm going to grab a straight edge that's long enough for my box. Draw a line from the first mark to the corner of the paper. Mark this strip as a waste strip so you don't get it mixed in with your good strips. Now you can mark 1 inch all along the other side of the page. When I'm doing this for myself, I don't draw all of the lines. I use a guillotine cutter to cut from mark to mark. But I wanted to draw the lines today just to make it clearer for you to see where I'm going to cut. Now I'll cut the strips with scissors. It's important that your cuts are accurate because any variation in the size of the strip and your beads will come out a slightly different shape. Now that we have our strips cut, let's roll. Slide the wider end of the strip into the slot on your paper bead roller. If you don't have a paper bead roller, you can get them at paperbeadrollers.com, or take your skewer or a knitting needle, something like that, and roll your strip around that. Keep some tension on the strip, but not too tight or you won't be able to get it off the roller. When you get to the end of the strip, apply some white glue and press it down. If the surface of your paper is glossy, you may have to hold the strip in place for a minute or so to make sure that the glue gets tacky before you remove the pressure. When it's ready, just pop it off the roller and you can start the next one. Now that all the beads are rolled, it's time to glaze. Slide each of the beads onto the bamboo skewer. Put a bit of glaze into a dish and brush it onto each bead using your paintbrush. If you don't have glaze, you can use clear nail polish, which is sometimes a little easier to find. Stick the skewer into your foam block so that the beads can dry. Once the glaze is dry, add a second coat. When the beads are completely dry, it's time to make some jewelry. You can get as simple or as sophisticated as you'd like. I often mix paper beads and traditional beads to get a really nice look. Today I'll just take some elastic string and make a quick stretch bracelet with my beads. For more sophisticated jewelry tutorials, including paper and traditional beads, subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell so you won't miss anything. See you next time!